a second if we are actually live, but naturally right now we should be live.
We should be live.
I'll make sure that we are actually live, but we should be live. Let's see. View channel. Yes, I do believe that we might actually be live.
I think you're right.
If there's anybody in the chat, please let us know. Please let us know that we're live or not. That's the big question.
We are live. I can tell you that. We're live.
We are live.
We're live.
Excellent.
But not many people are watching this.
It's okay. We just
There's
got
one
live.
person. There's one guy.
I see 2 people. They're already in the chat. All right, let me send a tweet. Let me send a tweet. There's a big story today.
What's the big story?
The big story is that Anish is not playing Title Tuesday. Or maybe I'm spreading fake news. I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't see him in the list, but that doesn't mean he can't join.
But he hasn't tweeted about it. And if he hasn't tweeted about it, I'm going to tweet at him. Let's see.
Okay, it's very strong though. This Title Tuesday. It has Hikaru, Firuza,
Yes.
Duda, and Dubov.
Yes.
Pragnanatha.
Yes.
Denis Lazovic. Sarana, Bortnik, Liam, Levon. A lot of other players too.
Yes.
So it's a strong one. I'm the second highest rated now.
Boom.
In the Title Tuesday.
Let me share our link on Twitter. Do you guys use Twitter?
Never mind. I'm the third highest rated. Magnus is playing. Magnus just joined. So.
What is Fabi drinking? What are you drinking, Fabi?
Tea.
I'm drinking coffee. I just woke up. Well, I woke up like 3 hours ago, but I'm still drinking coffee. Welcome, everybody.
I'm very jet lagged, by the way. I'm not trying to say that as an excuse before it happens, but I was traveling today.
You just got
I was literally traveling today, yeah.
Yeah, you just got there. Well, should be a good one. Let's see. But no, Anish doesn't seem to be. I asked him on Twitter.
What is this obsession with Anish?
What do you mean? We like Anish, or we don't like Anish? Do we like Anish?
I started, so this discussion will have to wait.
You started. Okay, let me just try to find.
I don't get any points for this win. I win 0 points if I win this game.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. Good luck, and I'll chat with you, and we'll answer all the questions after the games are over. By the way, your opponent doesn't. Has he made a move already? Or okay, there we go. I see the moves. Okay, good luck. All right, guys. I muted myself. The plan for today is as follows. We're going to follow Fabi's games during the Title Tuesday, and we're going to discuss them and pretty much answer every other question you guys might have after the games are over. That's the plan. So what you see right now is the game on the right over Fabi. As you pass Fabi with your eyesight, you see the game, and then you see Fabi, and then you see me. That's basically a very basic layout that we have put together because you guys were complaining that our heads are too big, our heads are too small, all sorts of complaints. So now there's no more complaints, hopefully. The rating is not visible. Okay, there's another complaint. All right, so Fabi is playing Rafael Antonio, and maybe we can. All right, let me see. Let me see if I can do that. All right. I got you guys. I got you. I got you. I got you. Boom. How about that? How about that? This layout is 100 times better. Well, thank you. Look, I'm gonna do it like this. Boom. How about now? Do you guys prefer this one or the previous one where you cannot see the names? Which ones do you guys prefer? The board is too small. We might be able to adjust that later on, but for the moment, this is the best we can do. I know. Okay, maybe, look, I'll make it just a tad bigger. There we go. This should be good enough now. What do I think of the one and only Hikachu? I do not know who Hikachu is. I know who Hikaru is, and he's doing quite well. All right. The bar is telling me that Fabi is doing quite well, but still quite a complex battle. The plans are easy. Just want to double up on the c file, put some pressure on the c5 pawn, maybe go bishop a3. Yeah, that's basic. And at some point, by the way, he might launch an attack on the king side. That might be what he's thinking about, what he's gunning for. Because black doesn't really have a clear plan. Like, what are you going to do as black? At some point, you have to go c4. At some point, you have to break the pawn structure. If not, you're not going to do anything. And I'm going to do everything on the king side. So these are the competing plans that we're seeing develop in this position. Looks like Fabi's on the move from the background. Yes, the last move was... Oh, you mean on the move? Yeah. Yeah, he's in Spain right now. So Fabiano just landed in Spain not many hours ago. He's saying he's very jet lagged. I would assume he hasn't slept very well, despite the fact of his traveling, surely business, and getting a nice sleep on the plane, or could be getting a nice sleep on the plane. Maybe he didn't this time. You want half the share price? Fabi's rating is looking spicy these days. Well, he's been farming. So he's being engaged in this project of trying to prove that farming is possible on chess.com. Not only possible, but very likely as well, if you put your mind to it. And he's been playing a lot. Every single day I'm getting some sort of a notification. Fabiano Caruana is playing. Boom, boom, boom. He should be in Norway. No, Norway is starting next week. Norway is starting next week. Take. Okay, now it's nice. So b4 was a very nice move. If we go back a couple of moves ago, you cannot take on b4 because of bishop c7. That's kind of the plan. So take on b4, bishop c7, that just gives you the exchange. And basically, you're giving up the d3 pawn, but in return, you're getting a very aggressive pass pawn on the c file. Not only that, but you also get the support square. Bishop d6, and now this is an exchange. If you take with the bishop, I take on d3. And then you cannot do any sort of discovery attacks because the rook on d8 is hanging. So at this point, he basically just lost an exchange. Not only that, but you cannot even give it as easily. If you take with the rook... Whoa! What? Ah, okay. So this is what he wanted. To take on d6, queen d6. Yeah, okay, this is over. You're losing a piece. Did I lose my luggage? I lost my luggage when I went to Poland for the Grand Chess Tour. They returned it to me long time after the tournament actually started. About like 3 days after we started. Okay, the game is over. Let's see what Fabi has to say. Nice game.
Thanks. Yeah. So you're a bit behind, yeah?
I think I'm a couple of seconds behind, maybe like 10 seconds behind, five to 10 seconds behind.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a great game. I mean, like, so at the end, I kind of bluffed a little bit when I went for this C takes D6 because I knew that can take on D3 and have a big advantage, but it's probably pretty tough.
Ah, by the way, C takes D6, you're worse. You saw that, right?
Yeah, yeah, Queen E4. Yeah, it was a bit of a bluff. Uh, I just thought he's low on time and it'll work out somehow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he
And
probably
then he had
pre-moved.
this Queen A3 stuff. But this I saw, but I thought it's very tough for him to find it.
Ah, bishop takes f3, queen a3, yeah?
Well, I was thinking Queen A3 first, but apparently that doesn't work because of Knight E1. So, but yeah, I guess he can start with Bishop F3.
Oh,
Okay, not a great game, but
it's okay. It's a good start.
typical blitz game, I guess.
Let's see what other games. Okay, so Hikaru won his game. Magnus is playing as well. Ali Reza is playing as well. Dubov. Okay, it's a
Sure, you want to check one of the games?
pretty strong tournament. Sure.
Right, it's about as strong as you can get. It's only missing a few guys, but basically almost missing nobody from the typical guys you see in Title Tuesday.
Yep. I'm not really sure who we can check who's still playing at this point. Most of the games are almost over.
Yeah.
Tamas
I
Bala
mean,
against Samvel Tersahakian. Okay,
okay.
this could be a nice.
Um, Sam Bell is a good player. He's like 2650 now,
Yeah.
around that. And they're all playing in Sharjah also. So a lot of these guys, um,
Is Samvel playing
well,
in Sharjah?
I believe so.
Hmm.
I haven't checked the games in a little while, like a few minutes. So I don't know how many games have finished. Like Hans was still playing last I checked. But this short Sharjah tournament also is there's so many transmission errors
Yeah.
that yeah, it's hard to follow the games.
Let me try to follow you so that. Boom. How do I follow you on chess.com?
I don't know. I thought that once you start watching a game, then it kind of automatically.
Ah, you have
There's
to
still
start
some games
watching
going
the
on,
game.
but they're not very exciting.
They want you
Some
to
rook.
play the Visu opening. Do you want to play the Visu opening?
I'd rather not just give a free exchange on move two.
It's winning. It's winning out of the opening. Well known. Well analyzed.
No, it's completely dead lost, of course. I mean, well, in Blitz you can, do stuff, very stupid stuff, and eventually maybe it turns into a mess of sorts. Yeah, like that's kind of typical for Blitz, but basically, you are losing if you do this. But it's like, okay, so at some point, Magnus and Hikaru, they were playing like E4, A6 every game. And this was sort of like considered to be stretching the limits a bit. But they analyzed it. At least Magnus analyzed it probably quite to the point where that he more or less knows what he's doing. And
You actually
and it's
think
sort of
Magnus
playable.
analyzed it?
Yeah, well, you can see it. I mean, because E4, A6, like the way they play it is like D4, C6. So they play a Caracan basically, which is if you see how they played, they've checked it a bit, not like super heavily, but I've also checked it a little bit. It's not like let's say E4 A6 is like zero point 0.5
Mm-hmm.
if my analyzer is a strong engine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, any sort of giving your rook away on move two
It's like
or
-2, yeah? Or something like that.
probably worse, but
What about the cow opening? Would you like to play the cow opening?
No, but the cow is just it's even worse than giving your rook away. Not
It,
not objectively,
no way.
but in some kind of spiritual point of view, it's worse.
Why?
Because you don't do anything. At least like if you give your rook up, you're trying to insult your opponent. I guess this is idea. But playing the cow, which is where you play e6, d6, knight e7, knight g6, knight d7, knight b6, you just place your pieces on not very good squares and give up the center, and you don't even insult your opponent.
You kind of do though. Everybody knows the cow nowadays. Everybody knows it's kind of a joke opening. So you kind of do insult your opponent. And if you lose against the cow, such a silly way of placing your pieces, then you're not a very good player, right? So at the end of it all, you're still insulting your opponent.
I feel like you're not. I don't know. It's also too deep into it. So like the biggest insult was at some point Magnus had this. I forget what it was called. It was like f3, king f2, king e3, king d3, c3, queen e1, king c2, queen h4. Uh, and then like you tried to basically get your queen and king back. So queen h4, queen a4, king e1, queen d1,
Mm-hmm.
which takes I don't know how many moves. How many moves is that? One, two, three, four,
Four,
five,
five, six,
six,
seven, eight,
seven,
nine.
eight, plus two pawn moves, so 11. So the problem is that you can't really achieve it because like your opponent just stops your king from moving. Anyway, my game started. I'm playing Andrei Levitsky.
Okay. Let me see if I can find you. There we go. All right. Good luck. I'm going to mute myself now. Boom. All right. We are alive, and I'm going to flip the board. Fabi is playing the black pieces. Obviously, the transmission hasn't started yet, but he seems to be playing nice Sicilian, Sveshnikov Sicilian. b5, knight d5, bishop b7, very standard stuff up to this point. Okay, it seems like the boys are blitzing through the moves, which makes a lot of sense. Because both of them, I mean, Fabi knows his theory, and it seems like Andrei Levinsky, who is a FIDE master from Ukraine, knows his theory as well. In fact, let's see. Let's see how strong this Andrei Levinsky is in real life. Everybody's very strong nowadays. Okay. Levitsky. Boom. FIDE master. He's probably a very young guy. That's my guess. Also, I cannot actually find him. Maybe I'm misspelling his name. Let's see. Levitsky. With an I and a Y. This is just for curiosity purposes. Because I actually never heard of this guy, but he seems to be a pretty decent player. Okay, born 2002. So he's fairly young, 22. 2285. Okay, a decent FIDE master from Ukraine. Decent FIDE master. Why I mute myself? Because if I don't mute myself, then I cannot discuss the position. And then, I'm not going to explain the position to you guys. I'm not doing that too much anyway. Mostly because I'm lazy. But at the same time, I don't want to have any slip-ups and give away any sort of moves. Not that it matters too much. I'm sure Fabi has better ideas than I do, but you get the point. But Fabi seems to be doing quite well. The engine doesn't approve, probably because of some f5 ideas. Even though f5 is a very double-edged sword, because once you play f5, you're giving me all the dark squares, especially the one on e5. And once I manage to transfer my knight from e5 to g4, then it becomes extremely dangerous for your king. When am I playing the title Tuesday? I mean, this is just better EV. You guys want to see Fabi play. You don't want to see me play and then Fabi do commentary. We cannot both play and both do commentary. Like, that's just simply not possible. So we have to choose one or the other. Will I ever play Hand and Brain with Fabi like the team chess battle? I've played it many times. But mostly in regular events. Like regular events, what am I talking about? Just in friendly settings. What mic am I using? Just a usual, sure. I don't like playing? No, I love playing. I did play it quite a few times on stream myself back when I was streaming in 2020, 2021 on a regular basis, but no. But Fabi wants to play also. Because of the delay, yes. Delay is a big problem. Am I, myself and Fabi, in a relationship? What belt are you in, Ju? Mitsubishi. By the way, this is not that easy. Fabi definitely has the advantage, mostly because he's a pawn up. Also because he's going to be able to plug this e-file with the bishop. And then white can more or less never take on h5 without losing the h4 pawn. So king f6, you take on h5, I go rook h8, you move the bishop, I take on h4, and that's just a better position for me. And at some point, I'm going to use this f pawn. There's a lot of drawing tendencies. At the same time, this pawn on a2 makes it very uncomfortable for white. Because let's imagine we exchange the rooks at some point. And then I just get my king all the way to b2, because I will be able to get my king all the way to b2. I'm going to use the f pawn to keep your king busy with defending against the promotion. Then I'm just going to run my king to b2. That's the plan. Take on a2, and then play the move a4, create the pass pawn, and win the game. With brush strokes, that's the idea. By the way, check was a very nice move. Now rook h8, pick up the pawn, that's an extra. Bishop e5 maybe, rook h8, and the question is, he's trying to calculate right now. Rook h1, rook takes h1, take, bishop f4, and then how fast am I to bring the king? Am I and Anastasia married? Oh, no. No. We're not married. We only do commentary together. Any marriage plans for Fabi? I don't know. You guys should ask him. Okay, rook g1, bishop c2, check, and then just push the pawn, right? Oh, check. Push. I mean, you could push, but you don't actually have to. a3 is a very nice move. Nice one.
Yeah, was it okay in the end game? Was it playing it okay?
I'm not sure. But yes, it looks pretty good. I mean, I wasn't paying too much attention at the engine and the bar, but it looked pretty smooth.
Yeah, the middle game was complicated. The end game, yeah, I thought the end game was pretty nasty. But I was very surprised by his bishop f3. I thought like rook f1 is more. Also by his e d5. I felt like CD5 was more natural. But okay, it's a kind of normal game, I guess.
Yeah. People are asking, what are your marriage plans?
My marriage plans.
Yes. And whether I'm married with Anastasia or Yasser.
Sorry, if you're married with who?
Anastasia or Yasser.
I don't understand. You're married with neither.
No, don't tell them. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Chat is unhinged right now.
Interesting.
They're asking very interesting questions. By the way, what's happening in the other games? So Hikaru won, Magnus won, you won. Basically, most of the favorites won. Is there any big favorite that didn't win? Okay,
I don't know.
let's see.
Serrano's still playing.
Serrano. Okay.
Serrano is down a pawn in a rook endgame, so it seems unlikely he will manage to pull this one off.
Hmm.
It is a draw, of course.
Can Fabi see chat? Can you see chat?
Yeah, I can see the chat. I mean, not during the games, of course. I can see it.
Very good.
Dropstone is playing.
Okay, here's an interesting question, actually.
Okay.
If you're
Probably gonna
locked
start.
in, did you start already?
No, no. So it has to be fast.
Okay, if you're locked in a room and paid $3,000 per cat that you had to fight and defeat at once, how many cats would you have put in a room with you?
I'll answer this after the game. I just started. It sounds like a difficult question to answer. Playing Alex Trip Ashko.
Triapishko, yes. I invited him
You
to
know
my
him.
university a while ago.
Okay.
Decent player. Okay, let's see. Muted myself. Boom. Alexei Alexander Triapishko. He's a very decent GM. So this one is definitely not going to be easy. We're starting to get some more difficult matchups already. He's a young GM, has had some significant success in his career as well. 25, I don't know what he's at right now, 25, 50, around that. Fabi's white, Triapishko is black. Speaking of the cats, because that's actually... So I have 3 cats myself. I actually have 3 cats. I don't think I would want to fight any of them. They're actually vicious. I would be able to... I would take damage. Each one of them would inflict some serious damage. Now, fighting 3 at the same time, that's a completely different story. You don't understand how agile cats are. And if you don't catch them, and it's very difficult to catch them because they run. So what I envision they would do, they would just like hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. Like they would scratch and then move away. And it's extremely difficult to first. Now, we have to go over the details, right? What's the perimeter of the location? Like, are we fighting in an octagon? Are we fighting in a small room? Like, how far they can run before I catch them, basically, is the question. No. I mean, of course I would be able to fight them. Now, the question is how much damage they would inflict and how many I can take until, I don't have the powers to defeat them anymore. Is he still just an IM? By the way, this is looking really good for white, mostly because of the dark squares. Huge weaknesses along the dark squares. And the problem is queen f3 is coming. Knight g4 is a very nice move. You cannot go queen f5 because of knight h6. Queen f4 probably is the best move in the position, but then I'm just simply going to continue attacking your queen g3. At some point, I'm going to go queen f3. And the point being that you cannot go bishop b7 to cover up on this diagonal because of c4. And if you cannot do that, then knight e5 is coming, knight c6 is coming, bishop takes d5, and knight e7. That's the plan. Yeah, and what he missed, what Triapishko missed, for sure, is that queen f3, there's no bishop b7 because of c4. Fight cats in an English phone booth. Okay. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't think I can take more than 5. The problem is, you have 5 cats. At some point, one of them is going to inflict some damage to your eyes. And if your eyes get damaged, you're busted. Game is over. that was smoother than expected.
I actually think it was a nice game because like
It
some moves
was, yeah.
were not so evident at first. Like knight g4 took a while to kind of I was surprised by his queen f6 because of course he can play knight takes f6, and then he's pretty safe. I mean, he's okay. And queen f6, then suddenly he's like I develop with tempo, and this knight g4 I think was a really nice idea because I need the f3 square for my queen after that. Like it started to look really tough to hold.
Yeah. And if he goes queen f5, knight h6, and queen f4, probably just continue with g3, right?
I would have played g3 because then, okay, I don't know, queen g5 looks bad, some h4, and queen d6. Like then I still have queen f3, so.
Okay, back to the cast question. So I've established the details. It's going to be, the fight is going to take place in an English phone booth. You know how those English phone
Yeah,
booths
yeah.
look like pretty small.
Okay,
So how
yeah,
many do you think you would be able to take before they take you down?
I have to fight cats in a phone booth.
Yes, how many? I said 5.
5 is my limit.
No, for me. I don't know about you. I said
Oh,
5.
cool. 5. I mean, how angry are the cats?
Let's assume they're pretty angry once you start attacking them.
So I'm the aggressor.
I mean, somebody has to. You guys are
Why?
in like a fight to
Why?
death, basically.
But why?
I don't know if they know it at the beginning, but once you start striking them, they're going to understand that they need to attack you in order to survive.
I think three would be tough, but maybe. These are like house cats, right? These are
House
not bigger.
cats, not huge cats.
So they're even one would probably be pretty painful, but I mean you'll win, you'll beat a cat. Yeah, it'll be painful, but you'll beat it. Um, 3, or do they start fighting each other?
No, no. Their
So
only
they're
goal is to take you down.
coordinated.
They're not attacking each other. They're not going at each other.
They're okay, they're coordinated.
Yes.
That's tough. I I think 3, I would feel like I'm decent a decent favorite against, but it's not going to be fun. After that, like people underestimate how fast cats are
Yes.
and how sharp their claws are.
I said 5. Now I'm starting to doubt it a little bit. 5 is it's a lot of cats.
Yeah, and they're like once you're starting to get torn up, and it's a small place, like you can't really move very much. It's a phone booth. You
At,
can't. People are saying kick. You can't kick in a phone booth. You don't have room to kick. You're gonna have to punch cats
I don't want to
or
get
strike
too
them.
sinister about it, but you have to grab their necks at some point and just finish them. Like that's the only way to finish them, I think.
You have to strangle them. Yeah. I mean, cats are not very strong. It's true. House cats, they're pretty weak, but they have claws and they jump a lot.
They do jump a lot. They're extremely, extremely agile.
Yeah,
So,
if like I have a house cat. It's he's also a very small one. I mean, he's very weak, but if you try to catch him, it's impossible. In a phone booth, of course, it's not really, you don't have to catch them, but you don't have much room. They're much smaller than you, so they can move around more easily.
mhm. By the way, Magnus is still playing and not looking like he's going to win this one,
Oh, let's have a look then.
unless something major happens, which it could. Actually, I don't think it can. You see,
Oh,
you see the position? I just go
I
king h2
would,
and that's it.
yeah, I see the position. Like, yeah, black cannot do anything, but he can win that a4 pawn to start, and then the question is, what do you do now? So yeah, he's already winning. Bishop takes e5.
Wait, what? Who's winning?
Magnus. No, it happens very quickly. It's just like one.
Bishop takes c5. Oh my goodness. How can you play that move?
That's a
Nobody.
good question.
This is absolutely insane. Nobody plays bishop takes c5. Like you've established the way to make a
Somebody
draw.
did play. Somebody
Oh
did play bishop takes
my
e5.
goodness. Yeah. By the way, you're a few seconds ahead
Oh
of
yeah,
me.
sorry.
No, no, that's fine. But by the way, thank you very much. The arbiter for the $5. I will test the cat theory and get back to you guys.
Don't hurt cats.
We're not condoning. This is a hypothetical scenario. We're not condoning any violence against pets or animals whatsoever.
Yeah, don't do anything to cats. They're
This is
small.
purely a hypothetical scenario. I have a Maine Coon. 7 angry Maine Coons would dominate most humans. I think 7 is stretching it. I think much more like
Aren't they
3.
like 20 pounds?
They're pretty big. They can get bigger
So
than that.
7 is almost the size of like the mass of a human.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
you might as well fight a cheetah or something. Like you're not going to fight 7 20-pound cats. You have no chance.
Yes. I mean, I have something that resembles a Maine Coon. It's a stray cat. It's taken from the shelter, but it does have some Maine Coon in it. I don't know how much. I don't know what's the percentage of Maine Coon, but she's definitely partly Maine Coon. And she's vicious. She's actually vicious. If you annoy her, she gets extremely angry.
Let's start it. I'm playing Mitraba Guha.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah, I think
Nice
we
guy.
played a bunch of games online. So he's at one bar, a connection bar.
Hmm.
So hopefully he sorts his connection out.
Okay. All right, here we go. Fabi's with the black pieces. Still waiting to get some moves in. Yeah, Norwegian forest cats are huge. Cheetahs? Yeah, good luck fighting a cheetah. Good luck fighting a cheetah. Well, my door is closed, but give me just 1 second. Okay, I opened the door. At some point, one of the cats will come in. I'll show you guys whichever comes in next. Maybe none of them will. Okay, so Fabi's taking a pretty passive stance, but a long-term approach. He's not exchanging. By the way, Guha Mitraba, very strong up-and-coming GM. I think he's about 20, maybe 21 years of age, from India, one of those young up-and-coming promising talents from India. There's plenty of them nowadays. Do I truly believe Gukesh has a chance versus Ting? I mean, in most people's books, he's the favorite. I know a lot of like Fabi, for example, Nepo, they don't believe he's the favorite, but yeah, I mean, if he plays the way he played at the candidates, then he's definitely the favorite. One thing about Gukesh in the last, let's say, year or so, after he established himself as one of the top players, is that he hasn't been as consistent as others, which comes with age, which comes with experience. So if his training is good leading up to the candidates, if he finds the right team, if he finds the right way of training, because there is a very specific way of training for a world championship match, it's not similar to the preparation for the candidates, is way more broad because you don't know what your opponent is going to do. There's a lot of different variables, but I'm sure he's going to have a pretty decent team given that there's so much experience surrounding Vichy, surrounding Gajewski, who accompanied Vichy in so many World Championship matches. So they have knowledge on how to approach it. By the way, Fabi is not looking really splendid right now. So yeah, in general, I think he's going to be. I will count him as the favorite. Let's just put it this way. I know a lot of people will not, but I will count him as the favorite. Ever thought about getting at least one single topic that ain't chess related in the podcast? Yes, actually, we did think about that. And we've covered occasionally some non-chess related topics as well. Yeah, he had to sacrifice. So now 2 bishops exchange down. There's some compensation. This is still not over by any stretch of the imagination. The problem is that at some point, yeah, b3 is a good move. This is still not over. Despite the fact that he's an exchange down, and obviously white is better, there's still plenty to play for. Bishop d3 maybe could be an interesting idea. He played it. Take. Champions League final watch along. I mean, I'm a Real Madrid fan, so I will definitely be watching it. I don't think we're going to be streaming it. Also, pretty sure it's during Norway chess. Rook e6, he's trying to get the bishop to b4 or to a3. White has to be careful. Rook d1, yeah, maybe bishop a3, bishop b2, by the way. Yeah, bishop a3, bishop b2 would have taken the exchange back. Is this streaming thing going to be a repeating thing? It could be. It could be, yeah. Yeah, whenever we both have time. Like, for example, next week, I think Fabi is already going to be playing Norway chess. So I don't think there's going to be any title Tuesdays for the next few weeks for sure. But yeah, in the future for sure. I mean, I'm a Madrid fan since I was super young. Like it's been 25 years of me being a Madrid fan. Like I've seen the matches against Bayern Leverkusen. I've seen Zidane goals. Whoa, Queen h4, Queen g5. There's some attack going on. I think Queen h4 would have been winning. So I would say I've been a Madrid fan since way before they started winning absolutely everything. Did I know Arda Güler? I mean, I know of him. I'm watching some of their matches. At least I'm watching the highlights nowadays. Boring? No. Why would it be boring? I mean, we had a pretty rough period at some point when Ronaldinho was in Barca and Barca was winning everything, and we weren't winning any championships or champion leagues. But yeah, recently, the last few years, I mean, has been pretty good, pretty consistent. Um, of course, I saw the Galactico era. Yes, yes, I've been a fan for a long time of Madrid. Queen E1, by the way, is coming. This is game over. Yeah, Queen E1 or Queen E2. I'm threatening checkmate. Queen F1, take Queen on D1. This is over. And by the way, if you have to go Queen, but I can take on F1. G3, Rook E4, Rook E1. The game might actually be over already. I see Fabi looks pretty relaxed. The game is over, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice.
I was dead lost, right?
Shaky, yes.
Yeah, that felt like a bad game.
I'm not sure dead lost. I think it went up to
Yeah,
like
maybe it
plus
was,
2 or something like that.
yeah, pretty. Oh wow, there's like huge wonders.
Where? Which
No, I'm
ones?
just looking at like the game reviews. Okay, but I think that like this game review is kind of silly too.
Mm-hmm.
Because once I was down exchange, it became easier to play at least. Like I put, oh, I missed knight takes d5. Okay, so I was dead lost. Knight d5 is just over.
At what point?
Moved after bishop d3. Knight d5 is GG.
Oh, yes. Knight d5, rook d5, b takes c4.
Okay, then I kind of played d. I thought that like my rook f6, rook f4, and all this stuff was pretty nice. Oh, I missed bishop e4. Okay, that's very bad. Yeah, but after queen g5, he was also kind of panicky. Oh, he had knight c7. Okay. So yeah, we missed a lot of things.
Yeah, knight 7 is a nice move.
Yeah,
Doesn't
knight c7 I just
doesn't
missed.
do that much, but I mean, you
Well,
have bishop
threatens knight
e7.
e6. No, I would play queen e7. I would pin the knight, 100%.
Yeah, queen takes b6.
Okay, I'm going to take a short break because it's round 4, right? So we have a break after this round, like 6 minutes.
Yes.
So I'll be back soon.
Okay. All right. Fabi's gonna take a short one. By the way, let's see if there's any more games pending. There should be some games pending. Or maybe all the games are actually over. But yeah, there is going to be like a 6 or 8 minute break after round 4 and round 8. That's usually the plan. Okay. I found a game. I found a game that's still going on. Casablanca seemed cool to me. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of this trend of very short tournaments? This seems to be the trend that's been catching up to the chess world. 1-2 day tournaments. Now, obviously, you have the Grand Chess Tour, which is a 5-day tournament. Less people seem to be enthusiastic about classical 2 weeks events. And nowadays, a lot of people are starting to pay a lot of attention to 1-2 day events. Like Casablanca was what, 2 days? Maybe 3 days max. You prefer normal classical. Short attention spans, short tourneys make sense. Yes. Also, we talked about it in the last podcast episode with the $4 million, the $1 million buy-in with 4 players tournament. That's maybe happening. Who knows? Maybe it will be happening later on this year. That's a 1-day event. And I'm sure it's going to be probably the most mediatized, publicized, covered event in a very long time. Obviously for the simple reason that it's going to be a $4 million prize one. If it happens. Vaikanze is doomed? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think from an organizer's, like, look, if you look at the candidates, if you look at the World Championship match, there's always going to be some sort of interest, quite a lot of interest in prestigious events, in events that have a lot on the line. And I think that's what it comes down to. How much is it on the line? How much money? How much prestige? What titles are on the line? So I think those are the questions. But at the same time, you see these 1 to 2 day events springing into action, coming up. And they're fun to watch, by the way. I mean, Casablanca Memorial, or Casablanca Tournament, not Capablanca, Casablanca. Very cool event, super cool event. Give them positions with historical value. You get kind of their coverage, or you see how cultured these very strong players are, because they know these games. They've actually seen and studied these games. You need to have a certain culture to be able to compete at that level. You need to understand structures. You need to be cultured to be a 27,000-2800 level player. So you get to see that from a fan's perspective, and then you get to see them play this type of imbalanced yet equal positions. I think that was kind of the idea. Like, you were getting the Evans Gambit and some other funny situations. Thank you, the arbiter, for the $2. What I don't like about the short time controls is that the commentators cannot cover all the games and often focus on very few. Yeah, well, that's the nature of it. That is the nature of it. Which is worse? What do you mean worse? Maine Coon or Chihuahua? I mean, a Maine Coon would probably destroy a Chihuahua, right? It's just bigger, much bigger. So I would assume that.
Chihuahuas are pathetic.
That's one way to come back. Why do you say that? Like, also there's different breeds of Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Different types of Chihuahua. Like, some
But
bigger Chihuahuas than
in
others.
general, they look a little bit pathetic.
But they're very aggressive. They bark a
Yeah,
lot.
well, they bark. That's it.
They
Also, aren't they all kind of small? Like, they don't really get big.
not big. No. They don't get to medium size for sure. I mean, I guess a fat Chihuahua would be something along the lines of 25 pounds max. 25 pounds max.
25 pounds for a Chihuahua? No way. Wait, let's look this up. Weight chart. What do you mean? They weigh like 1 to 3 pounds.
What? No.
No,
Come
1
on.
to 3 kilograms, 2 to 7 pounds. I mean, come on. 25
No.
25 pounds.
I'm talking about the biggest Chihuahua that ever
Okay.
existed. Must be around 25 pounds, right? 25 pounds.
What's the heaviest Chihuahua on record? 13 pounds.
13 pounds is the heaviest Chihuahua on record?
Spike.
Huh. Interesting. I always had the impression that 10 pounds is kind of like an average size for a Chihuahua. But I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, there's nothing scary about a Chihuahua. I'd be more scared of a rat. Even a small rat, I think, is more scary than a Chihuahua.
A small rat? No. I cannot believe that. Sorrow with the 2 pounds donation. Thank you very much. Are you getting a Chihuahua?
No. If I got a dog, it would be one of those beautiful Japanese dogs. What are they called?
Shiba Inu.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shiba Inus are cool. I like them. I would get a Belgian Shepherd. Those canine dogs. That was actually a big point of conversation when I moved to my own home, whether to get
You
3 cats or a big dog.
three cats or a big dog?
And we decided
Why
one
three cats or a big dog? Is this for protection?
for protection. Yes,
But three cats won't protect you.
of
I mean,
course
a
not.
dog would.
Of
Okay, my
course not.
game. Oh, I'm playing this kid. Okay, I'm playing Faustino Oro, the
Ooh,
prodigy from Argentina.
yeah, 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 yeah. Big game, big game. All right,
Okay,
let's see.
I heard he's quite dangerous.
He's good. Yeah, he's good. And if you lose against him, he's probably going to be very happy. So don't
That's a
don't
big
do it.
motivation. I don't want to make these kids happy. You have to beat them when they're young, and then later they get very strong.
All right, here we go.
When they're young, they're still beatable.
I muted myself. When they're young, they're still beatable. That is, wiser words have never been told. But Faustino Oro, definitely a superstar in the making. He's already beaten Magnus once, at least. And I'm pretty sure he's beaten more than Magnus. A bunch of other very strong GMs. He's only 9 years of age, maybe nowadays. Maybe he's 10. I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know. But he's been around for a while, surprisingly. Kind of got to make some waves when he was about 8 years old. And I believe he made his first international master norm or something along those lines when he was 8. Needless to say, he's really good. Very, very good. Fearless, very good. Well, when you're a kid, you're kind of fearless, yeah? You don't really care about anything. Which is a good thing, by the way. It's an attribute. Can play against you, but generally it's an attribute. Because you have so much confidence when you're a kid. He's 11 nowadays? No way. He's already 11? Holy smokes. He's been a while. He's been around the block for a while. 10. Okay. Who's the youngest that has beaten you over the board? That's actually a good question. What time control? Is the question. What time control? In classical, I would say maybe 14, but I truly don't remember. Maybe Jeffrey. Even though in classical I beat Jeffrey while he was young. He did beat me once, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. I remember having a worse position against him at one of these Dallas Chess Club's weekend tournaments many years ago when I was in college. And he was perhaps around 12, 13. I don't remember if I lost that game, but let's assume I lost that game. So I would say probably Jeffrey around when he was 12, 13. When will I bring Magnus to the podcast? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. That's a tough question. Tough question. I don't know. Can I beat drunk Fabi in classical? I don't know. Tough questions. You guys have some really tough questions. Have I played against Topalov? Not even in a friendly game. I've analyzed with Topalov when he was coming in St. Louis from some of these Champions Showdowns, but I've never played him. I've seen him, I've watched him play, but no, I've never played against him. D5, oof. Taking that, I don't know. I don't know about that, Faustino. I do not know about that. Yeah, basically just take, and then I'm going, the pawn on h3 drops by default, and there is no way for you to plug the long diagonal. This is pretty much game over, and it's actually quite easy. Just take. The only way for black to try for something would be to get the knight to c4 and then e5. The problem is you're not getting there. You're simply not getting there. You cannot go to c4 because my queen is there. If you go queen c5, I go bishop d4, and then you don't have time to play knight c4. So you're just out of time. You're not plugging the long diagonal. And if you don't plug the long diagonal, game over. And he finds it. He finds it. Yeah, this is just pretty much over. My guess is that Faustino thought that he's going to be able to drop the knight to e5. You cannot go via c6, I take. You cannot go via c4, I take. And if you give me a check, I'm not going to go king h1 because then you have time to go knight c4. But I go bishop d4, attacking your queen. You have to move the queen, pick up the h3 pawn, and give you the checkmate. Queen e7, take the pawn. f6, g5. This is... the position actually plays itself. It's one of those positions that just simply play itself. I have a feeling the game might already be over. Have I played Magnus? I beat Magnus in Backhouse. I don't remember who my teammate was, but we did play Magnus and somebody else. And I think I checkmated Magnus. I'm trying to remember. Maybe not checkmate, but I beat him. That was my moment of glory. Okay, yeah. That was very straightforward. You abided by your rule.
I forgot what my idea was. Like this rook d1 was some sort of idea, even though it shows it as a mistake on this like chess.com thing.
Uh-huh.
Like I knew that this move was interesting, but I couldn't remember after h3 what the point was. So the point was probably e4, not g4. And I think that, yeah, somewhere it went wrong.
Is this
Like
some sort of analysis?
old analysis. I mean, it's probably been played already, this rook d1. But after
Mm.
queen f1, knight a5, you probably missed this. Like e4 is very, yeah, I was thinking maybe knight h7 is the best move. I mean, d takes e4 is a suicide.
Yes.
Because you just open the bishop and it just looks so bad after you open this bishop up.
Yes.
I mean, you can't, like, the whole point of this line is that you keep this bishop sort of locked up. Because once it's open, it just, like, terrorizes black's position. Okay. He's a dangerous kid. I heard that from people who played against him that he's, like, very, very, very good at blitz.
His.
He didn't really get out of the opening in this one.
I mean, he beat Magnus, I think, in bullet. That was
Yeah.
kind
Okay,
of
this can happen. Bullet is a bit of a random one. By the way, Hikaru is playing, and it looks like he's going to draw against a name you probably haven't seen in a while.
knight
Dennis
x4. Yeah, knight x4 is a good move. You take king c5. You go in. What's your rating nowadays?
Which rating?
3-0.
Oh, but like chess.com?
Yes.
It's 3186.
Nice. That's why people are saying it looks juicy. All right, so
Yeah, my rating is like whoever plays me is very happy to get me. My rating is a bit inflated, I think. Okay. It's definitely a bit of an inflated rating.
why? It's not inflated. You've been farming.
30, yeah, okay, farming, but farming gets you an inflated rating. That's the point.
Oh, Magnus beat Galchenko. And let's see. Denis Lazovic versus Alain Pichot.
They're playing right now, yeah?
Yes.
Lazar Pichot. Okay, I think I'm a bit ahead, so I won't really say anything about the position.
You should. It's fine. You're just a few seconds ahead.
Yeah, I think Dennis is winning this one because there's just like no practical way for Black to hold. White has the light squares,
Yeah,
time advantage, kind of. King goes to d5 now. That's it. That should be a game.
yeah.
Oh, what? No! What did he do?
Oh,
Oh
you
my
are
God.
ahead of us. What did he do?
He allowed a trade of knight for bishop at some point, which was just a draw.
Oh, knight b6. But he didn't take on b6,
No.
so he's still winning.
He's struggling to find a way to get inside, but he's getting there slowly. Now the knight goes to d6. Now it's easy. Now it's easy. He got in there.
Who the heck? So I've been hearing this name, Tyler One, who's some sort of a streamer.
Haven't we even talked about him? Like, we know who he is. He
Some
was
sort
a
of a,
League of Legends player,
yeah.
or is a League of Legends player. And then he started playing chess, and he got to like 1900 and wrapped it on chess.com, I think.
And people are
That's
actually asking whether he can beat Alexandra Botas. Like, that's
no, I
no
mean,
chance.
probably not. I mean, anything can happen in a singular game, but yeah, probably not.
No way. I mean, the guy must be somewhere around 1500, like regular chess, not just at
Oh,
hybrid
I'm
games.
playing Jospin. Okay, playing Jospin.
Good luck.
Dangerous game. Dangerous guy.
Very dangerous. Yes. Okay. Um, by the way, Grigory is playing Dennis. Big round. Okay. Muted. Fabi should do a PhD. All right. Jose Martinez Alcantara, aka Jaspem, versus Fabi. Fabi with the black pieces. This one should be a good one. This one should be a good one. Very important game. 6 out of 6 would be spectacular. But again, everybody knows how dangerous Jaspem is. He's a very well established, strong Title Tuesday player. So anything can happen in this one. He plays the cow opening. No, come on. The cow opening is not a real opening. It's a meme opening, obviously. It's a meme opening. It's not like a real opening. Like it doesn't make too much sense, right? From a practical point of view, it doesn't make that much sense. Also, I don't think it confuses people because it's not one of those aggressive openings that creates something immediately. It's just a way to arrange your pieces, which is unconventional and objectively bad. Have I ever coached an adult? I actually only coach adults nowadays. I don't have any kid students. I had some, but I'm mostly working with established players nowadays. And I do have some private students as well, which are all of them adults. I just I enjoy that more. Yeah, he plays a lot. So this is one thing about Tyler One. I think we actually discussed him in the previous Title Tuesday. He plays a lot. He's improved because I think it's because he's generally a good gamer and he knows how to approach progress in a multitude of games. And that's probably what he's doing. And he plays a lot of games, like 5,000 games or whatever you guys told me he did. I don't hate kids. That's not true. I like kids. I used to coach kids. I was doing camps and stuff. I've done camps. It's difficult. I mean, working with kids is difficult. It truly is. I hear people, oh yeah, coaching kids is easy. No, no, coaching kids is not easy. I'm both a calm and patient, but also strict. I'm trying to keep a balance between those two. And that's just in my nature, I guess. Do I live with Fabi? No, I don't live with Fabi. That would be actually terrifying. Married life is good. By the way, the position remains extremely complicated, but to be honest, I like black. I like black from the simple practical factor. This bishop on d5 is a really nice piece. Bishop d5, the rook is going to get in the game. Like at some point, I'm going to be a pawn up. At some point, I will be able to take the a pawn. Do I live in St. Louis? No, I don't live in St. Louis, but I'm not going to tell you where I live. It's probably not super difficult to find out, but I'm not going to tell you where I live. Is he a bad roommate? No. Fabi's not a bad roommate. I mean, we were never roommates. We did spend time in houses together during training camps and things of that nature. But no, we've never shared a hotel room or anything of that nature. Have I ever played Fabi in a classical game? No. Romania, I guess? No, no, no. I haven't been living in Romania for about 15 years now. As I was predicting, pawn up. But it's still not that easy. First of all, can you take, attack the knight, and then take on c4? Yeah, that's probably going to be somewhat equal. Now this is not equal because queen f3, knight d2. If you go here, knight c3, knight d2, and you should be able to defend this somehow. Maybe queen b4. Knight d5, queen c4. This is just equal now. Shoot. He's in the Kramnik is probably watching this game. Actually, I have no doubt Kramnik is watching this game. Yes. I don't like what I'm seeing. Is this some sort of a draw? Did they draw? Something has happened. I think Fabi might have finished the game already. Draw, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. It's much better. I mean, I was worse at some moment, but then at some moment I was definitely much better.
Yes.
Okay, it was very complicated, but I thought was I ever like, I wasn't winning, yeah?
Not winning, but I think
And knight d5,
you're
yeah, okay, this was
pretty
stupid.
close
The thing
to
is like
winning.
rook c8, rook c8, knight c4, queen b4 I have. Okay, if I'd seen queen before, then I would have played rook c8.
Yeah. Yeah, rook c8 is not easy.
The thing is, like, I expected rook b2 instead of rook e1, and then I planned knight d5 because then if he takes on c4, then his pawn structure gets damaged. So I thought it's like a very good chances to win that position.
Yeah,
And then he played rook e1, and I kind of like panicked a bit. I didn't see. I thought rook c8, knight c4, like there's not. I just missed queen b4, so that's a bit um silly, but okay. Draw's not bad. I mean, it could have been worse as well.
yeah. I think at some point he was slightly better, but not
I felt
significantly.
like I was much worse at some moment, but definitely he went wrong. Although it was very complicated, but he went wrong when he started doing this whole knight h2 and all this business. It looked kind of weird to me.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was a
So
decent game.
so Magnus is playing. Okay, that's interesting to check.
Let's
He's
watch that.
actually completely dead lost
If he
against
manages to
Lucy
save
Pass.
this,
No, he's not saving this one. He played SL. Okay, SL is quite a good player.
like the only way to save this is some sort of. Okay, it's over actually.
No, it's there's no saving. I mean, there's a stalemate, but there's no way to like get a stalemate there. Okay, so that means I actually play SL because he's I'm going up a score group.
Okay, I'll be right back. Did you start the game already?
Yeah, game started.
Okay, I'll be right back. Feel free to chat with the audience. Um, there we go. I'll leave you guys with this game. Fabi's with the black pieces. I'll be back in 1 minute. Has Fabi been talking to you guys? He hasn't. Huh? We might get Fabi versus Magnus in this one. Total concentration breathing. Okay. Breathing is all you guys get. Sorry. Should be enough. Should be enough for you. He was not muted. I'm not muting him. If he wants to say something, he's going to say something. That romantic, awkward silence. Yeah, yeah. It's good. It's good. By the way, this position I'm not a big fan of. Mostly because this bishop at some point is going to swing to this diagonal. So something like rook d1 and then bishop b1. The problem is whether you're going to be able to get any sort of play on the queen side before you get under serious threat on this diagonal. Because it happens fast. So I guess he decides to actually sacrifice pawn. Just allow taking, take, and then just play a pawn down. Maybe rook c3 even. Rook c3 is an interesting move. You cannot take on c3. Okay, queen d5. Okay. Yeah, now this should be fine. This should be fine. This endgame is fine. Despite the fact that you're a pawn down, this is perfectly fine. In fact, if I were to pick a side, I would probably pick black. Just because at some point, maybe you will be able to take the a pawn and have the free passer on the a file. Like rook c3. I'm not sure about h6, but bishop d5, rook c3. You're definitely not worse with black. No way you're worse with black. Why don't I play these events? I mean, we don't do these streams very often. And when we do, we might as well have Fabi play them. It only makes sense. He has the best chances. You guys want to see Fabi. You guys don't want to see me play. I'm a commentator nowadays. I'm a commentator, coach. I don't consider myself a player per se. I enjoy playing. Don't play that much. Rook b8, rook b3. They seem to be actually starting to feel very dangerous for white. Very dangerous for white. I'm not sure about this bishop b3. I guess he's trying to arrest the knight. He's looking to arrest the knight. I'm not talking myself down. I just don't play that much. And that's fine with me. Like, I am a chess professional. But my profession is as a coach. Like, that's my main job. And a commentator. I'm the last one to talk myself down. But I'm also very realistic. Over the board last time was, in fact, July last year. So I haven't played in a long time. Was it July last year? Wow, that's actually close to a year. It's not my longest streak. During COVID, I didn't play for like 2.5 years, I think, over the board chess. Maybe 2 years. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I can still play. Don't get me wrong. I can still play. But I just don't find the time to do it. Yeah, Fabi's in Spain. Fabi's in Spain. What about the pay scale? No. Why would there be a C-squared episode where I talk about my wedding? That would be a bit awkward. You guys are not interested in that. You guys think I'm married to Fabi, which is okay. You should continue thinking that. Rook c2, I think this is pretty much over. What's my favorite gig? I would say probably coaching. I mean, coaching my university. I'm the head coach and I lead the university team, and that's probably the more rewarding one, I would say. At the same time, being part of commentary for some of the biggest events, that's definitely a lot of fun. It's like watching history very often. History happening. A2, get the king to f5, pick up this pawn. This is over. This is over. Was Magnus there? King f4. H3. That's nice. I'm not sure if it was necessary. What the heck was h3? h3 was strange. I mean, it's winning. It's completely winning. Just don't... He probably has won already.
Hey.
You're done, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if it was clean at the end, but I did win this.
Yeah. Why Fabi so silent? I mean, he was zoned in.
Okay, the thing is, like, SL was playing very, very fast,
Mm-hmm.
like extremely fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he always was up on the clock, even though I was outplaying him. It was like um, a lot of pressure on the clock, so couldn't really. Well, I think the game was pretty good though.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not like from a purely technical point of view, but before that, I think it was pretty good. Okay, so there's a like Kovalev on 7 out of 7. Kovalev on 7 out of 7.
Who else? By the way, any more games happening right now?
Yeah, I probably played Dennis because I already played Jocelyn, unless I play Kovalev and then Dennis plays Jocelyn.
Oh,
Because
Dennis
I
beat
think like the,
Svidler. Hikaru drew another game. Magnus beat Shirov.
I mean, everyone, oh wow, Faustino Oro's on 607. So I'm the only guy who beat, only one who beat. He just beat Levy, which I guess Levy will have some content there.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, he's definitely going to show that game.
So Magnus 6 out of 7. Emilio Cordova, who is probably streaming um alongside Lanier because they're streaming together, I think. Both on he's on okay, I play Kovalev. So I was right. I went up in score group and that probably means Dennis and Jocelyn were playing.
Board one, baby.
7 7.
All right, board one against Vladislav Kovalev. Um, strong player. Strong player from Belarus originally. Actually, why did I say originally? I think he still lives in Belarus. Still lives and plays, I would assume. Even though he plays for the FIDE flag or international or whatever that is. I guess Belarus is some sort of under sanctions as well, alongside Russia. So yeah, I guess strong player, by the way, very very strong player, good GM, has had some significant success. I think touched 2700 at some point. Is Fabi's Italian or Spanish better? Are we talking about the opening or are we talking about his language skills? If you're talking about the opening, I cannot tell you. And if you're talking about the language skills, as in I don't want to tell you. And if you're talking about the language skills, I think neither. I don't think he speaks either Italian or Spanish. I know he speaks it a little bit, but I don't think proficiently in either of them. I touched on it. I'm pretty sure I touched on mine also. As in, yeah, I was away to get married. So what happened with you? Type of thing. Also, it was a bit tricky because, you get married, then you go on a honeymoon, then you miss, then things are not fresh anymore. He's not native Italian. His mom is Italian. He was born in the United States. His mom is Italian. His dad is American. He was born in the United States. His parents are speaking American English at home. They've always spoken English. Like I will let you, Fabi is going to let you guys know once he's done. But I mean, Fabi has been more of a globetrotter. He's been going around, especially when he was young and playing a lot in Europe, trying to get to GM or like getting to GM and getting 26, 2650. Like he only moved back to the States in 2014, 2015, something like that. Can I speak Romanian? I mean, first of all, spell Romania correctly. And yes, of course, I can speak Romanian. What do you mean can I speak Romanian? Romanian is my first language. Okay, so things are... It's a typical Italian position. Complex. No clear plans. Thank you, Leslie, for joining the C Squad with a 9th membership. Appreciate that. There's some pressure in the center. And the question is kind of a game of chicken. Like, who's going to blink first? Who's going to either take on or play b5? You see, you have a tendency as a human to simplify the position. b5 was not a good move. Don't ask me why. Probably because of taking on e5, which he didn't. Or h5. Actually, I think it was h5, knight moves, and then take on e5. Now after queen b3, rook f8, not a big fan of this. So h5, knight moves. You can do it again. Take, take, and then queen d7. That's my guess. Queen c2. But the problem is, what if I just simply go rook f8 again? Yeah, Romanian is nothing similar to Russian. I cannot speak Russian. Always show opponent and clock. What do you mean? You can literally see opponent and clock. Okay, you guys are trolling, don't you? You guys are definitely trolling, right? I mean, you literally can see the opponent and the clock. And the eval as well. You can also see the eval bar. Like, you get absolutely everything. Zine ceva în română? Te pup și eu. Cheers. Se poate vorbi și românește, doar că nu înțelege lumea. Mai bine o lăsăm pe engleză. Pentru un moment, cel puțin. Have I ever visited Brazil? I've never visited Brazil. But I want to visit Brazil. That's for sure. Rook f7, rook b. Queen f4, holy smokes. Queen f4 is a crazy move in this position. Okay, nobody plays queen f4, first of all. But yeah, something has gone wrong. Something has gone really wrong for Fabi. He played knight f4. Oh my goodness. The guy sacrificed. The guy went completely crazy. Just rook a3, defend the knight. Queen g4 is a big problem. So as long as you defend against queen g4, king f1, and then knight on f3 stays protected, you're perfectly fine. Take on d4, don't take with the queen. Because of queen g4, rook f3, just go e5 or something along those lines. Yeah, actually this position is great. It's just waiting for... Whoa, no. Now he takes. Okay, but this is... They're both playing on seconds. They're both playing on seconds. Yeah, this is the problem. This is a big problem. Okay, rook takes h4, but... Ouch. Yeah, something really bad happened. My guess is that Fabi probably lost already. Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough one. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, play the Queen E3 was just completely unnecessary.
I mean, Queen E2 is very difficult.
Yeah, Queen E2 is
I
kind
don't,
of
what do you mean unnecessary?
kind of impossible.
Queen E2 is so difficult with like 5 seconds.
Is Queen E2 the only move?
Yeah.
Hmm.
When you say D5 is a stroke of genius.
Yeah, he has to do something.
Yeah. And D5 is definitely a brilliant idea. What can you say about it?
But I mean, D5 kind of makes sense. At least the rook on H5 doesn't do anything. It's completely dead. I don't know. D5 does strike me as a probable move. Magnus lost too. Whoa. Against who? Sergei Drigalov. Jaspem Lazovic draw. Dubov won his game. Okay, so where do you stand right now?
Probably quite low, but who knows? Okay, unfortunately, Title Tuesday is a bit of a minefield. You
Okay, 6.5. Um,
know, you sometimes get the wrong guys.
number you're on 13th place, yeah? Okay, there's still plenty of games. 3 more games. You win three, 9.5. Usually it's enough for what? Tied second?
Yeah, it really depends on other people.
Do you speak Italian?
Um,
People seem to be very interested in that.
well, not very well. Let's see. So Magnus lost to someone.
Yes, Drigalov.
Oh, Drigalov. Yeah, this is a brilliant player. I've I've had the pleasure of playing him too.
Yes, yes. Is Kramnik back, by the way? Is he allowed to play? Because he got some sort of like what, 1 month, 3 months ban? How many months did he get banned for?
I really don't know. Um,
I would assume once his ban expires, he's going to be back.
yeah, to be honest, he probably could talk to them and get his account back. But I think that he's quite a stubborn. You could say stubborn, or you could say passionate person, and he's probably not going to admit defeat anytime soon.
Hmm.
I'm looking at the standings. Some of them are quite funny.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'll probably get um to be honest, I could get many people at this point. It's really hard to say. But I could get someone very strong or merely strong or potentially terrifying.
Get Kramnik on the pod. We've had Vladimir on the pod. We've had him on the pod. We've discussed about him quite a few times.
Well, we've spoken to him once.
We've talked with him and about him many times. But sure, at some point, probably we'll have him back. At some point.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, also, thing is, I share many of Vladimir's concerns. Um, but on the other hand, I don't really. know if the discussion is really fruitful. And I mean, it's just like, yeah, there's no solution to it, and people take advantage of it pretty seriously. So there's not much else to say about it.
Yeah, he didn't get silenced. I mean, he got banned from chess.com, but outside of that, he's still posting everything on Twitter, posts his concerns on Twitter.
But also, it kind of brings up just a fundamental problem, which is that, like, it happens, but you don't know who. So if you start throwing out accusations at everyone, then you're probably going to hit some innocent people. But if you don't say anything, then you're going to ignore the problem.
Yeah,
And uh, so, yeah, there's really no good solution to that. And even if you like have all the data, like let's say chess.com they have all the numbers and everything, they still will struggle to convince people that someone cheated if that person maintains their innocence fervently, right? Like you can't you need to show a video of someone caught red-handed. Like, otherwise, there's no way to convince everyone.
yeah, that's basically the only way to have 100% proof, let's say. Otherwise, it's just algorithms signaling or not signaling. Um, and it seems like chess.com obviously trusts their methods, perhaps for a good reason, perhaps not. Um, we don't
Yeah,
know for
well,
sure.
it's I mean, they might they might err a bit too much on the side of certainty. That's possible. Or maybe they get it more accurately than we think. That's possible as well. I would assume that they err on the side of certainty, that they really need a high level of certainty, which is a fair system, but does result in these kinds of things where like you take too long to figure out if someone is merely suspicious or actually doing something wrong.
Yeah,
But definitely
guys.
there's like something kind of off with these tournaments. Like it's pretty.
Hmm. Guys, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel if you're here for the first time, you're enjoying the content. We have way more for you guys. We have a bunch of episodes with pretty much all the top players in the world, a lot of top players in the world, at least. Um, and we occasionally do this type of streams, which I think we will be a little bit more regularly whenever we both have time, but definitely something that we're keeping in mind. So don't forget to support the channel if you're enjoying it. Speaking of Kramnik and Jasper, they're going to play a match. You're going to be there.
Um, well, I'll miss out on pretty much all of it just because Norway chess is kind of interfering. And so yeah, I'll miss out. I'll maybe like be there for the last day.
Should be fun.
Again, it's like I'm not sure exactly what some people will put weight into it. And like let's say if Kramnik gets completely destroyed, then probably people will say, okay, uh, nothing weird has anyway, my game started. But yeah, we can talk about it after. Playing Pranesh M.
Let's see if I can find Fabi. There we go. Pranesh M. Another very decent grandmaster from India. 3000 rated, so obviously a very strong player. He's on 7 out of 8. Fabi's on 6.5 out of 8. He needs to win this one. He really needs to win this one. We had a couple of those with Maurice. Glad you enjoyed it. Glad you enjoyed it. Would we have chess boxers? Actually, yes. Why not? I mean, we did have one. we went to LA. There was this chess boxing event, I think a year and a half ago. in December 2022, I think it was. Boxing match, the main event or like the co-main event was between Lawrence Trent and Aman Hamilton from the Chess Bros. And we had a good time. We had both of them, in fact, leading up to that match on the podcast. So, yeah, no, nothing against chess boxing. I might do it at some point. I'm interested. I like martial arts. I am practicing martial arts. Don't do that much striking. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, but I'm always down for a physical test. So yes. Levy's road to GM. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's a good series. I don't know if he's going to make it. I hope he's going to make it. I mean, if you would have asked me 3 years ago this question, or maybe like 2019, 2020, something along those lines, I would say he's very close to doing it. He's very close to doing it. Nowadays, I'm not sure. He already kind of took a break. He's closing in on 30. It's becoming harder and harder, especially because he has such a responsibility with the channel. Like, his channel is his main responsibility. We all know it. Obviously, the channel would get a humongous boost, I would assume. Whatever extra boost it can get. It already is the biggest chess channel on YouTube. But it would get an even bigger boost if he would become GM. But at the same time, you know, GM also requires a lot of training, a lot of competition, a lot of traveling. So it takes away from his main responsibility as an adult. 3 GM norms, not easy. Definitely not easy. But, you know, if he finds a system of content around his road to GM, if he finds a system with which he's comfortable, then he has a decent chance. Thank you, Leslie. And thank you for joining the club. Chess Bros on the pod soon. We had them on. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the Chess Bros at some point, we would definitely love to have them. We had them on, but I would like to have both of them, yeah? I'd like to have Eric is kind of like the guy that initiated the Chess Bros movement. So it would be great to have him, and he's a good friend as well. Making it 30 and working, it's impossible to be a GM. Not impossible, definitely not impossible, but way more difficult. By the way, it's looking pretty good right now for Fabi. I think rook e2. I'm trying to understand. Okay, rook a1. No. Some knight f6 or knight e5. One of them, or e3. I guess e3 is just easier. We had Anish once. At some point, just get the knight to d3. Either to d3 or to e4. I guess this makes the most sense. Yeah, queen g3, maybe knight d3, maybe even bishop d3. I'm sure he's thinking about something like this. He's thinking about some sacrifices. Rook c8 to try to force the exchange on e5 is also very tempting. He goes for this with the idea of knight f3, discovery, attack, and once you lose the bishop on d4, the game is over. Rook h1, that's why he's getting out of the discovery attack. And the question is how to get rid of this bishop on d4. I was on Perpetual twice, I think. Yeah, Perpetual is kind of the OG chess podcast. OG chess podcast. Take, knight d3, rook c8. By the way, does this work? Take, rook c8. It is a very... Okay, bishop d3. I was not part of the team for the 2020, 2021, and 2022 candidates. I was part of the team for 2018 and the most recent candidates. I was not part of the team for that one. We try to get Firuza. Firuza doesn't want to. Well, that's because he just doesn't want to do any content. I'm sure he gets a lot of invitations. But no, he's shy. Firuza is shy. Shy boy. Maybe one of these days he's gonna get on the podcast, but who knows? Again, he doesn't want to. We invited him. Magnus, okay. Okay, just pick up the pawns, yeah? Want to? Or you can just try to pick it up with the king. G3. Oh, okay, now it's time. Now it's time. This should be a fairly straightforward conversion. Maybe put the bishop on c5. Yeah, Vichy would be obviously a great guest to have. Rook e4, rook d5. I'm not sure about this. I feel there's some options to slip up. Okay, don't mess it up. Do not mess it up. He should not mess this one up. Just don't mess it up. Okay, now it's time to push. Bishop b5. Yes, good move. Yes, push the pawn. And actually the bishop on e5 is amazing. The bishop on e5 is ridiculous. He's trying to get his king in. King e6 and basically threatens something. The problem is for white, that is, there's nothing. Take. My guess is that he won. Yes. That was shaky.
Yeah, bit stupid once I was winning. Oh, Kovalev, 9 out of 9. Nice.
People want us to get.
Oh my God.
Huh?
This is like, okay, it's kind of shameless at this point now. I mean, this stuff.
Wait, let's see. Kovalev won against Lazovic. Wow. Okay, let's see. Yeah, good. Played a good game. Thank you very much for $2 Ken 10. Please have Lake Tingier on. We should invite Vichy on the podcast at some point.
So, Bauman guy. So let's just look at his results. Just
Who?
Bauman guy.
Who's Bauman guy?
Well, that is another question. He draws Liam. He beats Prague. He beats Makarian. He draws Hikaru. He beats Grigori. And then he beats Serrano. Okay, my game started. I'm playing Samvel, who is a good player. Samvel Tersahakian from Armenia. Actually, quite a lucky pairing, I have to say. Kind of avoided a minefield here. Although he's a good player. He's
Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
All right. Fabi versus Samvel Tersahakian. Not only that he's a strong player, he's also coming from Sharjah. I'm pretty sure he was playing, I think he's playing in Sharjah and probably just finished his round before the tournament started, before Title Tuesday started. So definitely a cool pairing to see. Good pairing. Very, very good pairing. Let's do the procedure. Oh. Sharjah Masters. All right, so Tersakian is playing a very, very good opening. What is known to be extremely solid. Though a6, allowing d4, definitely not a good idea. Now white has a clear advantage. He should not have allowed d4. My guess is that he had to go d5 in this position. Either c5, knight c6, knight d4. Basically, it's going to be a battle between the d5 and the d4 squares. Or a6, which allows d4, and this is a big problem. That was a big problem. Okay, knight c5, knight d1. And you're basically getting this King's Indian structures, more or less, without the pawn on g6, obviously, but this central structure of the King's Indian, and white just has more space. At some point, maybe a3, knight a2, knight b4, and knight c6 is a plan. And if you do go b4, then knight a4, maybe. Bishop b3 and then knight b6. Knight a4, bishop d7 is a big problem. I've never experienced the procedure live. I've never seen Vladi do the procedure live. I would love to be in the audience when that happens. I'm going to try to tune in and try to see the procedure. No, I always mute. And if I don't mute, he will tell me something. Who's Jan? I don't know what you're talking about. We're not inviting anybody, guys. We'll have whoever we're going to have. I'm pretty sure the procedure was done on Fabi. I don't think there's been any conclusive results, but I think the procedure has been done on Fabi. Fabi and you in tag team chess, boxing versus 5 cats. I think, look, I think we're gonna take on 5 cats. By the way, this is a really, really, really juicy position, really juicy advantage. Black has nothing to do in the position. All I have to do is go bishop f1, pick up the pawn, and then use my 2 bishops to promote the b pawn. And there is nothing you can do. It's such an unfortunate situation for black. You can start with bishop b3, you can start with bishop f1, you can do basically whatever you want. This knight is not going anywhere. Rook c6, sure. Basically anything can be played. Yeah, it's Bogdan Deak. It's not Bogdan Dik. It's Bogdan Deak. Cats are tricky. Well, we actually had this discussion. I don't think we're taking part in Bliss Champs. I mean, I'm not doing the procedure on Fabi. By the way, I'm not sure about this taking. Just go ef3. I'm not sure. Now things are starting to get a little bit annoying. Like you take here, I go knight f6, and then how do you defend the pawn on d5? b5, rook takes b5 is a problem. Now you can just push, right? Okay, maybe it's like rook c7 and then push. Is that? Ah, rook c7 and rook a7. Yeah, yeah, that should be it. So rook 7, knight d5, but this is not easy. And rook a7. That should be the way to do it. But things already, yeah, this was not good. Things definitely got, yeah, okay. Rook a5, knight takes d5 was a big blunder. Now he's just lost. Now he's just lost. And the idea is if you take, this rook defends the bishop on a6. You take on b7, I take on d5. You cannot take on a6 because my rook on c6 defends. So just simply, yeah, this is a piece up now. Easy, easy win. I guess the game is over. Nice.
Yeah, I tricked him at the end, rook a5. I don't know. I felt like I messed it up at that point. Maybe it's still good.
It's still fine. I mean, you are much more winning, but okay, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's still winning even there. Fabi sharing his screen? No, he's not. I'm just watching it. That's why he's about 5-10 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's very low tech. Christian is looking at the chess.com website and I'm playing
What do you
on the
mean low tech?
chess.com.
No, I think it's high tech. You're not allowed to share your screen, I think, with me.
Yeah, I don't know the rules. I know that like you have to have emote only if you're streaming, but I'm not like streaming. Yeah, you're streaming.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, I can't see the val bar. I can't see anything. I mean, I can only see my board and my screen. So if people are being silly. So what is it like? Big tie. Okay, Kovalev wins the tournament. Clear. There was no
Wait.
stopping him anyway. I
Yeah,
mean, he's
there's
9.5. Oh no, there's one guy half a point behind him.
there's
Okay,
still
so they
some
play.
some games, right? So you won. Ah,
It's a big
Faustino.
clash.
Holy smokes.
Sergey versus Kovalev. Very big clash there.
No, but Faustino also beat Lequang, yeah? You're the only one that beat Faustino.
Okay, he's good. He's
He's really good.
yeah, he's good. And that's what I heard. It's good that I got past him with the win. So I played Faustino, I played Indian Lad, I played Jospin. So that probably means I play either Vaquito or I play um, Jaime Santos Altasa. It's probably like one of those two, I guess. They're both good players. I mean, I have no chance for first, I guess, but well, actually, I literally have no chance.
No,
No,
no
it's like
chances.
mathematically because Sergey and Kovalev will play.
Yes.
But if I win, I might get second. It's possible
I mean,
because my tiebreaks are extremely nice.
you're third right now, so it's very likely that you would get,
I mean, I played all
unless
the guys at the top. Like,
Drigalov wins, I guess.
oh yeah, in that case, I can't get second. Oh
Probably
no,
not.
actually, I could, because then I would probably pass Kovalev.
You think Kovalev has
I mean,
worse
his tiebreaks
tiebreaks
are
than
like
you?
14 points lower than mine currently.
Okay, then yes.
Basically, I don't really care about that game. Um, because like if I win, I will be ahead of one of them and I will be below one of them. That's pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah.
But okay, it doesn't really, I mean, I just should try to win. Hopefully, hopefully it works out. We'll see.
One more
Like to
round.
me, if I
Yeah.
get
Let's
second,
let's
I
see.
actually feel like I won the tournament. I know that not the case. I'm pretty sure that I win the tournament if I get second.
You're. I feel you're trying to do the procedure.
No, no, I don't ever report or block or any of that. There's no procedure.
We don't do procedures on C Squad.
Look, if I get second in this tournament, I'm saying that I won.
Have the game started?
Not yet. Oh, maybe there's still something going on.
There must be.
I'll just refresh the page in case like some
No, I don't see the games. I don't see the games
because this happened
starting.
recently. I was like playing I was playing a strong player like casual trio blitz. Who was it? I think it was Makinov, who's like a very good blitz player.
Hmm.
And just like casual games. And then okay, so I play Santos Ataza. So anyway, like a game started and then his time is just ticking down, and then it gets to zero and then it shows that I lost. So like there are these bugs sometimes that occur. And it wasn't my Wi-Fi. Anyway, game started.
Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
All right, here we go. Final round. A good news is that Fabi actually doubles white, so that's probably pretty decent. Cats are not expensive. My cats cost $30. Actually, $30. I mean, I adopted all of my cats. I didn't buy any breed cats, so the adoption fee was $30 per cat. Actually, the last one I think was 50. So the first couple I bought them in pair. They were 30 a piece, $60. And then the last cat was 50. I wanted to get a hairless cat. Now that I think about it, actually, I did lose a bunch of money. So, okay, I'll tell you a story. I got scammed by a hairless cat breeder, or so I thought. He's a breeder, but he wasn't a breeder. So it was a fake breeder. And unfortunately, I sent them. I think I was under the influence. We were having a party at my place, and I had this idea of buying a hairless cat. And we were in deep discussions with this supposed breeder about getting the cat, getting on the next litter, and I sent him some money, and of course he disappeared. I never heard back. All right, last round. With a win, he probably gets second. The position looks really nice right now. Not after this last move, but at the same time, black probably has to go bishop d4. I think bishop c3, which it's easy to play, is the wrong move. Because you take, then I have the two bishops. Bishop d4 is a problem. And to be honest, probably bishop d4 was something that he lost. He missed in his assessment when he played f4. Because right now you take, and it does seem like you have these two pieces on the same file, and potentially something could happen because of that, but nothing really happens because of knight e2. Knight e2 is a very important move. If he does take on c4, queen d4, then that looks good. You attack the bishop, you attack the pawn, and then you ready to set up this attack on the d file as well, rook d1. So this is good. Yeah, queen d4, I'm starting to like white's position. I'm starting to like white's position. Bishop to b3, now all I have to do, why not take the pawn? Yes, take the pawn. Very good. Up on time, up in the position. Pawn up, and to be honest, I don't see any compensation. This one is in his hands to win it. Take on d5. If you take on d5 with the pawn, I just simply go queen d4. And that's problematic. Not only that I have a pawn up, but I also have the better position because I'm playing against the isolated pawn. So yes, I'm not a big fan of this trade. I'm not a big fan of this trade. b5, queen f2, rook e2 or rook e3. b4 is a good move, by the way. Secure the second rank. Secure the second rank. Rook c1, okay. Big question is if you can take queen d2. And then probably queen c5 has to come and then secure the second rank with queen c2. Queen d4 or queen e3 is a problem. Queen b3, okay. So he's trying to target these two pawns, and potentially at some point, don't move the queen off this diagonal, because then rook takes c1, rook c1, queen e3 is a big problem. So don't do that. Position is easier for white. Position is, I mean, you have an extra pawn as white. I wouldn't call it easier, because as white, you don't know exactly what you have to do. As black, you know precisely what you have to do. You need to find enough compensation for the pawn. And to do that is try to target the king and potentially win one of these pawns. Well, you're going to have to win the a pawn first and then try to stop the b pawn from promotion. Queen to b2 was a bit unexpected. I was expecting rook to c3. f5. You cannot take because of queen e8. That's a nice move. That's a really nice move. Nice move. Don't take on f5 as black. You have to defend that pawn. Probably rook to e8. Queen d3. Now it's starting to feel like a technical job. The tactics have more or less dissipated. There's no more tactics in the position. You don't have to worry about too much as white. All you have to do is cement your advantage. Go queen to d3, e5, rook e2. Not a big fan of this move. I guess he wants to go rook d1, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. Queen f2. Queen f3, okay. Queen f2 was really nice. Now g6, rook f1 and rook f2 I guess you have to go for. He still should be winning, but he's making his job very difficult. Queen f6 is a good move. Queen e2 is the only move right now to continue. If you exchange the queens, the game is over, because 2 against nothing on the queen side is going to win very easily. a4, queen e3, what's happening? Queen f3, queen b3, and that loses a pawn. He missed that. Still not easy. Position is probably equal, but the b pawn should still give white the advantage. Queen f6, rook b7. Yeah, I would assume it was a draw. Probably that's why he's not very happy about it. Yeah, not an easy conversion, no? Definitely probably winning at some point. Surprisingly, f5 was not. I mean, f5 looks really nice, but it wasn't. Yeah. When did you feel like the advantage slipped? Oh, I didn't unmute myself. Hey.
Hey, yeah, so I don't know, was I much better at some point?
Yes, definitely winning.
Just winning, yeah?
Yeah.
After rook e8, yeah, or what?
Yeah, f5 was decent. Queen d3. Yeah, queen d3 I think is the best. Already once you take on e6. It's
Wait,
not
after
that
rook
easy
e8,
anymore.
queen d3?
Yeah, I think that was the best move. Also, after h5.
Why is that winning? I don't know. Like a weak engine shows 0.5. Why is it winning?
Really?
I mean, just a common engine shows 0.5. I also don't understand why queen d3 would be winning.
Instead of f takes c6. I
Yeah.
can just go rook e2.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's not easy. And I think queen f2 instead of queen f3 was...
yeah, maybe queen 2, but it's kind of a position which continues, yeah?
It continues. It's not over. Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
The king is fairly weak, right?
Yeah, I didn't have anything clear cut. Okay, it was kind of a decent game, I guess, overall. I don't see any like huge mistakes.
Okay, let's see. Are you making the podium?
Not top three. No, I think it's like I'm number five.
So Kovalev 10, Faustino, and Rigalov 9.5. And you're probably Hos Jospem jumped to 9.5 too. So you're gonna be fifth. Cool. Well, we also hit like 2K viewers. So welcome everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think that's probably gonna be it for us. I'm not sure if we're gonna do the later Title Tuesday. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary, enjoyed the games.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Okay, kind of upsetting overall.
Upsetting.
Well, I mean, like, okay, you see the tournament, but anyway,
we shouldn't comment on the procedures. We'll we'll let
like,
Vladi
where
speak
did
about the
people end up?
procedures.
Like, okay, Magnus is eighth, Hikaru is ninth, Dubov is seventh. Where are the others? Liam is 24th place. Lanier is 44th place. Huh.
Okay, I think I'm gonna block.
Okay, overall, I mean, I think I played decently. It's not great placement, but yeah, I kind of missed like what? Yeah, I mean, I didn't even miss so much. Just that game against Kovalev, but yeah, what can you say about that?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys, don't forget, like, subscribe if you've enjoyed the content. Make sure you get subscribed to the channel. We post pretty regularly. We have a bunch of episodes already and a lot more coming up. So don't forget to do that. Anyway, until next time.